Alexa, what is the capital in the US?
The capital of the United States is Washington, D.C.
Okay, Alexa, when was the First World War?
The First World War started on the 28th of July 1914.
Okay, Alexa, when was Henry VIII born?
Henry VIII of England, the child of Henry VII of England and Elizabeth of York, was born on the 28th of June 1491 in Palace of Placentia.
Okay, Alexa, who was William the Conqueror?
From dailymotion.com. It is the sequel to the 2008 film Kung Fu Panda, in which Po and his friends battle to stop a would-be conqueror, Lord Shen, with a powerful new weapon, with the giant panda discovering a disquieting link to his past in the process.
Not what the question asked for, but okay. Alexa, who's William the Conqueror?
William I, usually known as William the Conqueror and sometimes William the Bastard, was the first Norman king of England, reigning from 1066 until his death in 1087.
Charming. Call him a bastard. Charming. Huh. That's me, I'll be insulted. How dare they? Luckily for me, I'm not called William. That would be a nightmare. Okay, Alexa, who is ghosts?
In folklore, a ghost is the soul or spirit of a dead person or non-human animal that is believed to be able to appear to the living.
Okay, Alexa, who is God?
People all have their own views on religion.
Alexa, when did the first electricity come?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the first record of the discovery of electricity is in Egyptian texts dating around 2750 BCE. Electricity was first introduced as a viable utility at the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago by Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse.
Wow, jeez, that's something I didn't know. God, BC, I'm 19 something, my neck. Whew, it's quite a long way back. Right, Alexa, when was the first radio made?
The invention of the radio involved many smaller discoveries made by many people. The first experiments took place around 1820, and by 1910 the word radio had come to mean wireless audio transmission as we understand it today.
Okay, Alexa, when was the first TV invented?
Philo Taylor Farnsworth is generally credited with the invention of the first fully electronic television with a demonstration to the press in 1928.
Interesting. Okay, Alexa, when was the first computer made?
Charles Babbage is credited with originating the idea of a programmable computer in the early 19th century.
Okay. Alexa, who was the first person to make the telephone?
Alexander Graham Bell was the first to be awarded a patent for the electric telephone in 1876. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Thanks for your feedback.
Alexa, who played the 10th and 14th Doctor?
From imdb.com. David Tennant, previously known as the 10th Doctor, is now also known as the 14th Doctor.
Bingo. I knew that one just testing. Alexa, who was the first one to invent light?
Joseph Swan and Thomas Edison both patented a functional incandescent light bulb in 1879.
Okay, Alexa, who was the first person to invent a candle?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the invention of candles may have occurred roughly 5,000 years ago by ancient Egyptians who made torches by soaking the core of reeds in melted animal fat. However, Ancient Romans may have developed candles with wicks about the same time by dipping rolled papyrus in melted tallow or beeswax.
So I think I prefer the Romans version to the Egyptian version because that must have smelled pretty bad. Quickly. Alexa, what is the world's most famous mountain in Canada?
I know about 7,900 mountains on Earth in Canada, including Mount Logan, Mount St. Elias, Mount Lucania, and King Peak.
Wowzers. This is going to be awkward, but interesting. Alexa, when was the first leather made?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, leather dates back to the Stone Age. Evidence of leather work from animal hides dates back to approximately 400,000 BC. Common leather items appear between 5000 BC and 3500 BC. The oldest leather shoe dates back to around 3500 BC.
Okay. Alexa, when was the first ladder made?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. The ladder was probably invented by the Egyptians in the 3rd millennium BC.
Oh, that explains a lot then. Okay, Alexa, who invented the bathroom?
The first records for the use of baths date back as far as 3000 BC. At this time, water had a strong religious value, being seen as a purifying element for both body and soul. So it was not uncommon for people to be required to cleanse themselves before entering a sacred area.
Okay, Alexa, when was the first toilet made?
Friday, the 1st of December 2022.
Alexa,
one day.
When is the first toilet made?
The first flush toilet was designed by Sir John Harrington in 1596, but the first practical flush toilet was patented in 1778 by Joseph Bramah.
We get a bit awkward. Alexa, when was the first Game Boy out?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the Nintendo Game Boy was released in Japan on April 21, 1989, and in North America on July 31, 1989.
Okay. This kills. Alexa, when was the first Echo Dot made?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the first version of the Amazon Echo Dot was released in March 2016.
So, a little bit more up to date, but not too bad. Alexa, when was Bluetooth invented?
From attune.com.au. Bluetooth is a wireless technology invented in 1994 and uses a radio frequency to share data over a short distance.
Okay, Alexa, when was the first Wi-Fi invented?
The 1985 ruling by the U.S. Federal Communications Commission released parts of the ISM bands for unlicensed use for communications. These frequency bands include the same 2.4 GHz bands used by equipment such as microwave ovens, and are thus subject to interference. In 1991 in the Netherlands, the NCR Corporation and AT&T invented the precursor to 802.11, intended for use in cashier systems, under the name WaveLAN.
I didn't say microwave, dear. Alexa, when was the first Wi-Fi invented?
The 1985 ruling by the U.S. Federal Communications Commission released parts of the ISM bands for unlicensed use for communications.
I don't know, I'm not a subject. Alexa, when was the first robot ever made?
From writeabout.com. The first known robot was created around 400 to 350 BC by the mathematician Archytas and was an artificial bird.
Okay. Alexa, when was the first camera invented?
The first successful photographic image was created by Nicephore Niepce in around 1816. He used a small camera and a piece of paper coated with silver chloride. The silver chloride darkened when exposed to light, thus creating the image.
Okay, Alexa, who invented the first camera recorder?
Beginning with the use of the camera obscura and transitioning to complex photographic cameras, the evolution of the technology in the 19th century was driven by pioneers like Thomas Wedgwood, Nicéphore Niepce, and Henry Talbot. First using the camera obscura for chemical experiments, they ultimately created cameras specifically for chemical photography, and later reduced the camera's size and optimized lens configurations. Camera was invented in 1839.
Oh, okay. Alexa, when was the first table ever made?
From Wikipedia.org. Some very early tables were made and used by the ancient Egyptians around 2500 BC, using wood and alabaster.
Okay. Alexa, when was the first chairs ever made?
From allamerican.org. You can trace the roots of case back to 1989 when a dedicated family of brothers founded the company.
Not case company, I said. Right, Alexa, who was the first person to invent the chair?
From synonym.com. The first hair relaxer was invented by Garrett
Not
Augustus
hair.
Morgan.
Alexa, who invented the first chair?
The chair has been used since antiquity, although for many centuries it was a symbolic article of state and dignity rather than an article for ordinary use. The chair is still used as the emblem of authority in the House of Commons in the United Kingdom and Canada, and in many other settings.
Okay, but Carmen, one more question. I think we'll be done. Alexa, who invented the first house?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the first house was invented by the early Egyptians.
Most of his questions to do with Egyptians, Germany, American and other whatnots, including China. I give up. I'm done. I'm through with you. Bye.